pose. Okay, everyone, welcome to your 60-minute power flow. We are going to start in child's pose. So come down to the back of your mat, big toes to touch, knees spread wide. Yeah, and like always, we take these first few moments, these first few poses to arrive. So many other things happening outside the mat, off the mat. And every time we roll out the mat, we can bring all this extra stuff. And so we want to spend a few moments just letting it go so that you can be here for the next 60 minutes, focused on you, in the practice, in your body. So soften fingers, soften toes, and start to notice the connection to the mat. So you're feeling the sensations of the hands and the forearms, shins, tops of feet pressing down. And bring your attention to your breath. Just noticing the gentle flow of breath in and out through the nose. And we're going to start with a few clearing breaths. So take a deep, full breath in. Feel the expansion and feel it come all the way up to the crown of the head. And then open the mouth and exhale. One more just like that. Draw the breath in. Deepest breath of the day. Hold. And then let it go. Sigh it out the mouth. Come up to your hands and knees, tabletop position, and stack. Stack shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. And before we go into cat-cows, really look down at your hands and spread out all the fingers. So you have your pointer fingers parallel, and then all the other fingers spread out as wide as possible. Zip the lower belly in and press the tops of the feet down. As you inhale, drop the belly, look up, cow. Exhale, pull the navel in, round the back, press the mat away. Inhale, tailbone lifts. Look up. Exhale, round. Pull the pit of the belly in and up towards the spine. Heart forward. Drop the tailbone. And then come back to your neutral spine. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Yeah, and just take a moment to pedal into your feet. Sway the hips. Maybe nod the head yes, shake the head no. Just do whatever your body needs right now to wake up. Yeah, and sometimes it's nice almost to roll forward a little bit and then press the hips back. Rolling forward over the wrists and then pressing the hips back. Okay, so come to stillness. Feel the feet pressing down and back. Feel the hands pressing down and forward. Just get a sense of your connection to earth, dialing into the mat, dialing into the ground. Take a big breath in. Clear the breath out. Ragdoll at the front of the mat. Grab opposite elbow, opposite wrist, and just hang. Drop thoughts. Drop your expectation for class. Just be here. Be here. Feel your feet pressing down. Feel your crown of your head pulling down towards earth. And then release the hands, bring the big toes together to touch. Lift all 10 toes, ground down through all 4 corners of the feet. Lay each little toe down on its own and then rise all the way up to extended mountain. Big stretch up. Strong through the feet into the core. Hands to heart center. Shut the eyes. Set an intention for practice. Maybe it's one of possibility. Maybe it's one of grace. What do you want to focus on today? What do you want this practice to be about? Knowing that you come back to that intention whenever your mind may wander, you get a little bit off track. You just come back to intention. And let's start with one Om together. Breathe in. Open the eyes. Reach up, extended mountain. Big stretch up towards the sky. Engage the thighs. Suck the lower belly in. Be really strong and firm throughout the whole body. Press the hands together and engage the Uddiyana Bandha, your core lock. Exhale, fold forward. Shift the gaze between the shins. Halfway lift, long spine, suck the belly in. Hands to the mat, step back to plank. You're in your plank, and we're gonna hold that first plank. And have a little shift forward and back. Lubricate the joints and the wrists. Yeah, you could even do little circles around the hands. Pull all the energy into your center. It's like there's this imaginary line running through the center of your body, and your energy, your attention all goes there. Draw it all in. Now, as you inhale, shift forward. And as you exhale, drop the knees, lower all the way down to the mat. Mini Cobra, elbows squeeze to the side body. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. You come into this down dog and you get a sense of where you're at right now. You always come back to your tools, the tools of the practice. Ujjayi breath, victorious breath, deep oceanic breath in and out through the nose. Your drishti, 2 eyes, 1 point, soft gaze. And foundations, hands, feet, core. Take a big breath in, clear the breath out, look forward to your hands and travel to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen, fold. Sweep up, stand tall, big stretch up. Energy rise through the body, up through the fingers. Exhale, bow down. Getting a little bit of movement. Halfway lift. Squeeze thighs together. Hands to the mat. Step back through plank. Low plank. Peel the chest through. Upward facing dog. Press the hips back. Down dog. Yeah, and with each sun salutation, you just start to wake up through all the major muscle groups in the body. We get this little bit of repetitive flow to get us out of our heads and into our body. And then we come to down dog and we take a few breaths to reset, to refocus, to check in. Look forward to your hands, softness in the elbows, softness in the knees, and jump or step to the front of the mat. Lift half, bow down, stand tall, fold, half lift, low plank, up dog, down dog, and you reset. Reset breath, reset gaze, and set your foundation. So hands pressing down and forward, and you're spreading out all those fingers, pressing into the pointer finger pad and the thumb pad to integrate the shoulders. Yeah, notice that. Really press down through the pointer finger and the thumb and notice how it feels in your shoulders. And then feet pressing down and back, almost like your heels are moving away from one another. Pull the pit of the belly in and up towards the spine. Draw the breath into the center of the body. Empty the breath out. Look forward to your hands and jump to the front. Halfway lift, fold. Take your seat. Chair pose. Yeah, and have a little bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And then settle. Can you shift your weight back towards your heels? Can you see your toes? If not, scoot those hips back a little bit more. And get low, get low, get low, get low in that seat. Reach the arms up a little bit more. Take a breath in, breath out, fold. Halfway lift. Low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Heart pulls through, upward facing dog. Press the tops of the feet down and squeeze those armpits. Downward facing dog. Right foot, warrior one, root down, rise up, and pause. Have that pause in your first warrior and get strong through the foundation. So you're building from the feet up. Right foot at 12 o'clock, back left foot, like a 45-degree angle, and you're pressing into the heels as the left hip draws forward and right hip draws back. And then pull the pit of the belly in and up towards the spine and reach the fingers high. Take a breath in. Clear the breath out, low plank. Upward facing. Downward facing. Left side, warrior one. Root down, rise up. And then pause. Yeah, and it's like you're sucking your femur bones, those thigh bones, into the hip sockets. Strong through the legs, strong through the core. It's called warrior for a reason. And you could cruise in a pose, or you can work a pose. And only you really know, because you're in your body, you're in your practice. But it's called warrior one for a reason. And it should be a worked pose. But you're still in that pose with stability and ease. Low plank. Cruise into your back bend. Press back, downward facing dog. And press the hands down and forward, almost like you're tractioning them together. And that switches on those upper arms. And then press the feet down and away from each other. Feel the outer hip pockets activate. Pit of the belly pulls in and up to create all this length from crown to seat bone. Look forward to your hands and jump. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, sink down, hug into center line, like leg muscles squeeze to leg bones. Fold forward. Half lift. Low plank. Yeah, and when you go into your vinyasa, knowing you can take your modifications, Cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Right side, Virabhadrasana one, root down, rise up. Flow low. Just moving with your breath, up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, Virabhadrasana one. Root down through the four corners of the feet and rise up as you take a breath in. Breath out, low plank. Like a moving meditation. upward facing, downward facing. Yeah, and you move with your breath. You move with the steady rhythm of your breath. And you come back into down dog and settle. Notice how the body feels, and you check in with your mind. Check in with where you're at right now. And is your mind busy with thought? And if it is, can you come back to that intention that you set? Can you come back to your drishti? Can you come back to your breath? And let the breath be louder than any thoughts. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair. Bow. Lift half. Flow low. Upward facing. Downward facing. Vira 1 on the right side. Low plank. Up. Down. Left side Virabhadrasana 1. Strong through the feet, strong through the core. Low plank. Yeah, and it's like move to be moved. Upward facing, squeeze those armpits and press the tops of the feet down. Downward facing dog. Right foot, Virabhadrasana 1. Root down, rise up. Humble warrior. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Take a breath in to reach the crown of the head up. Exhale, crown of head to the inside of your right foot and reach those arms up and over. Yeah, and be here. Press down through the heels, spread out all the toes, pull the right hip back. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. And then soften. Soften like air. So even though you're strong through the muscles and strong in the body, you also have this softness. Softness through the joints. Okay, now press the feet apart from each other as you rise back up into your warrior 1. Breathe in fully. Breathe out, low plank. Upward facing. Spread out the fingers. Downward facing. Left side warrior 1. Root down, rise up. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Humble warrior. And you just go with your flow. Knowing that you are your best teacher, and whatever modifications you need to make or any variations you want to take, you do it. Because if there's anything that you can learn from a yoga practice, it's that you listen to your body. Like, we're so often told that we need to listen to what other people tell us to do. I'm just here to guide. So if you can figure out what's best for your body, that is like success for me. Okay, press the feet towards each other this time as we rise back up to warrior 1. Take a breath in. Empty the breath out, low plank. Heart comes through, upward facing dog. Hips go back, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together to touch at the back of the mat. Raise the right leg high up to the sky. Bend the knee, open up to the right side. Yeah, and you could stay here or you could flip. And wherever you go with your breath. Keep pressing the hands down and forward if you're in your 3-legged dog. And maybe you look under the right armpit. Keep pulling the pit of the belly in and up, a little tuck of the tailbone to give a bit more access so you can stack your hips. And everyone will meet in high plank. Roll over, side plank, left arm in the air. You do your modification. That could be right knee on the ground. It could be a leg lifted. Wherever you are, you want to think about stacking your hips, stacking your shoulders, and then you look up towards the left hand. Fingers alive, hasta bandhas. There's energy in your fingertips and rising up. So it's almost like you're plugging your hands into Earth's socket up above, sky socket. For 3, for 2, for 1, low plank. Up dog. Squeeze those armpits, press the tops of the feet down, downward facing. Feet together to touch at the back of the mat. Raise the left leg all the way up. And now bend the knee, open up to the left side. So you get that stretch through the left side body. Yeah, and then you go with your breath. So are you staying? Are you flipping? Listen to what you need right now. And wherever you go with breath. And we'll meet in high plank, side plank, other side. So left arm down, right arm up. And if you're in side plank, traditional side plank, hug all that energy into center line and press your feet together. As you flex the feet, spread the toes out. And it's like you're a sheet of paper between two planes of glass. Like there's no arching, there's no curving. You're just flat. For 3, keep pressing the hips up, up, up. For 2, for 1, Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Up dog, down dog. Take a big, big breath in. Open the mouth and exhale. Feet together to touch at the back of the mat. Raise the right leg straight behind you. Yeah, and just feel that strength and feel that energy. So the left heel is planted, the right heel is pressing towards the back of your space, almost like you're standing on the wall behind you. And you're spreading out all your fingers and pressing into the finger pads. You've got strength, you've got power. Draw the knee to your nose, step through, crescent lunge. And come into your crescent lunge from the feet. So you're strong through the feet and then reach up from there. And you could be in modified with the knee down. Wherever you go based on how your body's feeling. Hands to heart center, twist. Left elbow, right knee. Yeah, and here, scissor the thighs together. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. And as you breathe in, you lengthen. Like lengthen from the left heel all the way out through the crown of the head. Energize that left heel up and press off the big toe mound. I know it's sometimes scary. It's like, oh my God, that's gonna make me fall. But no, that gives you more stability, more strength. Come back to high lunge, warrior 2. Yeah, and then settle in your warrior. You're aiming to have your right knee at 90 degrees and the right knee pressing out to the pinky toe edge of your mat. You can see your big toe. Stretch the arms apart, almost like it's like tug of war between both arms. Fingers spread wide. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Extended side angle. And you go elbow to knee, or maybe you go to the inside of the right foot. And here, press down through the feet. It's like get really strong through all 4 corners. Lift up the toes. Place the toes down. Half bind or full bind. Knowing that if you take that bind, it's to open the chest up towards the ceiling. Hug in. Hug in from skin to muscles to bones. Low plank, upward facing, squeeze those armpits, downward facing, press those hips back. Okay, feet together to touch the back of the mat, raise the left leg straight behind you. It's that wall, you're standing on it. Okay, get solid, get strong, feel your power. Knee to nose, step through crescent lunge. And you build from the feet up so that you have strength as you come into your crescent. Hands to heart center. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out to twist. Sthira Sukha Asana. Like the more power, we also want to bring in more stability and more ease. So if you find you're grimacing and your face, your teeth are clenched, back off, back off. You've gone a little bit too far your edge. That's fine. Come back to high lunge. Warrior two. Yeah, and find your warrior. Maybe you need to take a little bit longer stance so you can drop those hips down. Yeah, and then open up the chest, squeeze the rhomboids, those shoulder blades together, and the muscles that are just along the spine. It's like there's a little pencil between your shoulder blades. Flip the front palm reverse. Extended side angle. Yeah, tuck the tailbone and scoop the pelvis up towards your face, towards your chest. And then look up towards your right hand, fingers alive, those hasta bandhas, those energy sockets. It's like energy coming from the ground all the way out that hand. And then breathe, come back to Ujjayi breath, come back to Drishti. Low plank. You guys are so strong, so powerful. Upward facing, downward facing. Yeah, and whatever is going on in that little head of yours, come back to foundations, come back to breath, come back to Drishti. Let your Drishti focus you and let your breath be louder than anything that your mind is telling you. Okay, look forward to your hands, feet to hands. Lift half, suck the belly in, fold. Chair pose. Hug into center line. Hands to heart center, twist to the right, left elbow, right knee. It's also known as Thunderbolt Twist. So like think about that, just the power in a thunderbolt, and you drop your hips, you squeeze inner thighs together, lengthen through the crown of the head and the tailbone, and then lift off that torso, lift off the thigh, so the torso is higher than, heart is higher than your hips. Fold. Separate the feet, hips distance, interlace your peace fingers with your big toes, lift half, lengthen the spine, fold forward. Ha. Like this past few poses are through our vitality sequence, like get all this energy, all this power. And then we have a chance to let it go in this forward fold and shift that oxygenated blood into the head. Get a little bit of movement, of energy. And then release the feet, bring the feet together to touch chair pose, set it up. Sink low in your chair, hands to heart center, twist. Yeah, and whatever, you come back to that idea of stability and ease. Doesn't matter if you like this pose or you hate this pose, you're just in the pose. And you're in the pose with Sthira Sukha Asana, stability and ease. Fold forward, gorilla pose. Palms of the hands completely under the soles of the feet. That may mean you bend your knees a lot, and then let the head hang down. And from there, maybe you can straighten the legs, depending on how tight or relaxed your hamstrings are. Maybe you straighten one leg, maybe you straighten the other. Just have a few cleansing, clearing breaths here. And just notice the energy in the body right now. Okay, release the hands, come down into your squat Malasana. So sink those hips down, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, and you use your elbows to press the knees out, 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 as you engage Mula Bandha, engage Uddiyana Bandha. So Mula Bandha being your pelvic floor lock, Uddiyana Bandha your core lock, and both are sucking in. Both are engaged. Hands to the mat, step back to the root plank, lower down, low plank. Peel the chest through, upward facing. Press the hips back, downward facing. Look forward to your hands, softness in the elbows, softness in the knees. And we're gonna jump, but I want you to look at that space between your hands. Don't shift your gaze at all. Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. Keep a little bounce in your knees. And we're just gonna bounce 3 times, just in space, in your place. So bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3. Okay, and now we're gonna bounce forward. Ready? Keep looking and you jump to the front of the mat. Lift half, fold forward. Reach up, extended mountain. Eagle on the right. Right arm under, right leg over, and just flow right into it. Squeeze it into center line. Switch sides, eagle on the left. Wrap, twist. Hug in. Thighs squeezing together, elbows squeezing together. Release. Eagle on the right. Like coming into it as a second time, can you come into it as a beginner? Like beginning again and with beginner's eyes, like you've never done it before. And then can you sink, 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 humble, eagle. So you're sinking your hips low and moving into a tight little ball. Release. Eagle on the left. Left arm under, left leg over. And just keep working your way down, keep drawing it all in. Total integrity through the body. Release. Reach the arms up, shake it out. Tree pose on the right. Yeah, and your foot could be anywhere on the inseam of your leg. Could be at your thigh, it could be on your calf, it could be on your ankle. Bring your hands to heart center. Just take a moment to feel your foot pressing down into earth and your right foot pressing into your left thigh. And with the right knee, try to press it back, open up through the right hip a little bit more. Suck the belly in and up. And from there, create, expand, express. What are you making with your tree? How are your branches growing? Hands to heart center, switch sides. Find your roots and root down your tree through your right standing foot. Press the left knee back and now grow. Like create something new, create something beautiful. Try something that you haven't tried before. Maybe that's looking up. Maybe it's a new position of your hands or your arms. Hands to heart center and release. Just take a moment in mountain pose. Hands on either side of your body. Shut your eyes. Notice the flow of energy. Notice your breath. And come to the top of your mat. Reach the arms up and overhead, extended mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Lift half. Flow low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot, step through, warrior two. Just spin open right into it. Reverse your warrior. Triangle pose. So from your reverse warrior, you straighten the front leg, kick the right hips towards the back of your space and reach the right arm forward. Reach, reach, reach. And from there, open up triangle. Ground through the heels. Root those feet into earth and engage all your leg muscles. So the leg muscles are hugging into the bones. Scoop the pelvis up towards your chest and then reach that left arm high. Yeah, and if your neck is okay, you could look up towards the left hand. Otherwise, just look out to the side. Press down through the feet, engage the core as you rise all the way up. Turn the right foot to the side of your mat. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Take a breath in, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Fold. Side facing forward, fold. Stretch those arms overhead so you get a rinsing through the shoulders. Yeah, and here, it's like, what does your body need? What do your legs need? What do your thighs, your hamstrings need? And maybe it's a bend in the knees from side to side. Or maybe it's just a little bit of stillness. Feel into it. As I love to say, you do you. You find what you need right now to get a bit of release through the posterior chain of the body, but still keep that strength through the legs. So you're pressing the outer edges of the feet away from each other and engaging the inner adductors, the inner thighs, the groin. And now rise back up to standing. Turn the right foot towards the front of the mat. Step the left foot in about a third of the way. Hands to hips. Set up for pyramid. So before we go into it, shift left hip forward, right hip back. And it's like your chest is aiming a little bit towards your right foot. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, chin to right shin. And then release the hands down towards either side of your right foot. And press your right hip back as you press the big toe mounds into earth. Relax the neck, let it hang and drop whatever thoughts are there. Just feel the sensation in your hamstring and breathe. And if your breath has stopped, come back to it. Halfway lift, hands to the mat, step back through plank, straight to down dog or through your vinyasa, your choice. Upward facing, spread out the fingers, press the tops of the feet down, downward facing. Left side, warrior two. Step through, spin open, reverse, Trikonasana. Flow into your triangle. And I always like to have a little softness in the knees. And as I soften my knees, I can scoop my pelvis up a little bit, create a bit more space to then extend the legs and extend the crown of the head. Press down, pull in, expand, express. Do you. Rise back up to standing, turn the left foot to the side of the mat. Hands at hips, lengthen through the crown of the head, fold forward. Fold forward, side facing forward fold, and hands come underneath the shoulders and draw the crown of the head towards the mat. A few deep, nourishing breaths. Just remember, mind, where's the mind? And then come back. Come back to your intention. Come back to your foundations. Okay, hands at hip, rise all the way up. Set up for pyramid, left side. Left foot at 12 o'clock, right foot at 45-degree angle. Hands can be clasped behind the back or on hips. Chin to left shin. Yeah, and you just go into it. Go into it and you let your head go. So often we have so much stuff going on in our head that we keep all this tension in the neck. I want you to relax it and look towards your right heel. Halfway lift. Step back through plank and just hold for a moment. Shift forward. Shift back. Shift forward. Shift back. Shift forward. You're so strong. Suck it in, suck the core in, and lower all the way down as you keep squeezing elbows in. And then release, one cheek to one side. Yeah, and just enjoy a bit of release, a bit of restoration, and enjoy the feeling of the mat beneath you. It's like it's your little security blanket. Cheek to the other side. Just be in the moment of restoration. Forehead to the mat. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Zip your legs together. And as you inhale, come into your locust. Draw it all into the center of your body. That imaginary line running through your body structure. All your attention, all your energy is there. And from there, you create all this length from crown of the head through the heels. And you lift. Lift everything as just your pelvis is pressing down. And release. Little sway of the hips. That moment of restoration. And your choice, you go back into a locust or floor bow. Yogi's choice. And if you're going to floor bow, you grab your ankles, your tops of your feet, spread out the toes and kick your hands and your feet into your hands to lift up. Squeeze the inner thighs together and be soft through the face. And release. Lower all the way down. Windscreen wiper the feet from side to side. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Come into Cobra or upward facing dog. Just linger for a sec, get that back bend. And press back downward facing. Okay, look at your hands and we're gonna jump through and come down to your back, set up for bridge. Just go right into it. It's like this is the time in the class where it's like, ooh, I'll stop and get a drink or I'll fix my hair. Don't, we're going right into bridge. Feet at hip distance. Drive the hips up as you press the heels down. Little tuck of the tailbone towards your knees and press the upper arm bones down. And that creates more of a stretch, more of an arch through the upper thoracic spine. Maybe you interlace the hands underneath your back. Like, can you be active here? Sometimes it's nice to draw the heels towards you and get a sense of your hamstrings doing so much work right now. Keep squeezing lower belly in and then lower down. Sway the knees side to side and go up again. Bridge, wheel, your choice. Go up. And be intentional. Be intentional with your gaze. Be intentional with your focus. Lower all the way down. Sway the knees side to side. and go up. Bridge or wheel, your choice. You know, if you have no idea how many we're gonna do, this could be the last one, or maybe there's more, but it really doesn't matter because you're in this moment and you're intentional with your pose, you're intentional with your breath, you're intentional with your gaze. Lower down, sway the knees, go up again. And this is like doing bridge for the first time, that idea of begin again as a beginner. Like you've never done this bridge before and you haven't done this bridge in this moment. So actually it is a whole new bridge and it is the first bridge of now. Lower down, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out, hand on heart center, hand on belly. That idea is so nice that this is the only moment that exists. Like we all get so stressed about the future and, you know, worried about what's to come. And actually, there really is no future because when we get to the future, it's now. And so we try to learn through our yoga practice, like just being here and experiencing this moment. And we've got these tools to use to help us. And those tools are gaze, the drishti, your breath, sensations, so the foundations pressing into the mat. And then you've got flow, that movement. And you've got the burn, the fire, the agni. Happy baby. Grab the outside edges of the feet. Ground the sacrum and pull the feet down towards the mat. So your feet are flexed, toes spread out, active, happy baby. Press the feet up, squeeze the legs together, hands behind the nape of your neck, lift the head and shoulders 2 inches off the mat, and we're gonna pulse up from there. This is your low spot, so keep pulsing up, up, up. Press the lower spine down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the right leg 2 inches above the mat. Keep the left leg high. Press heels away from each other as you pulse up, up, up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the knees in. You guys are amazing. Ha. Rock and roll 3 times along your spine and travel through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Yeah, maybe in your up dog, you just linger a little bit, stretch through the abdomen, and then press back downward facing dog. Raise the right leg, open up through the hip. Just have a few hip rotations here. And then glide into your half pigeon. Right knee to right wrist, and set it up. Be intentional with this transition, be intentional with this setup, and then fold over into your pigeon and soften here. Soften like air. Let tension go wherever tension is held in your body right now. And maybe that means you need to do a bit of a scan or a check-in. Like, can you relax your jaw? Can you soften through the fingertips? Soften through the toes? Can you let go of any clinging or clenching in your hips, in your glutes? And allow an opening to happen. And then make your way up and switch sides. Tuck the back toe, come through your down dog. Raise the left leg. A few rotations through the hips. And then set up for your pigeon on the left. I mean, there's so many messages in the yoga practice that are so applicable to life. Like so often we like clench and hold on to things that we don't necessarily need to be. And actually we can move forward so much easier if we just soften into things. Rise back up, swing the back leg round, both legs straight out in front of you. Feel your seat bones. Press down through the heels, reach the arms up, create length, length, length. It's like stretching through the side body and all the way up and out the fingers. Take a breath in and then breath out, fold. But reach, 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 reach as you fold. And then deepen. You could always use a strap here. You could have your knees bent if your hamstrings are really tight. If your knees are bent, you sometimes feel it a bit more in your lower back. And with each inhale, you create length, you create space. With each exhale, you fold a little bit deeper. Rise back up, reverse tabletop, feet planted, hips distance, press down through the heels, drive the hips up, drop the head back. And it's in that dropping of the head back that you open up your lines of communication, your throat chakra, the Jahalandhara Bandha. Lower the hips down, hands out in front of you. Keep pulling the lower belly in as you lower all the way down vertebrae by vertebrae. We're going to go into one inversion. So you could have legs just up in the air, waterfall, or come into a shoulder stand. Or if you want to go for headstand or handstand, you do whatever inversion tickles your fancy right now. Having your feet, your legs above your heart, so good for lymphatic drainage. Like that internal sewage system, it's just like shifting everything, moving it all about. And then lower the legs all the way down. Draw the right knee in. Supine twist on the right. Twist over to the left. Bottom hip and gaze to the right side. Shut the eyes and soften. Come back to center, switch sides. Left knee draws in, right leg goes long. And you twist. Final twist. Final bit of squeeze of those internal organs. And then come back to center. Squeeze the knees in. Ground through the sacrum. Take a final breath in together all the way up to the crown of the head. And at the top, try to sip in a tiny bit more air. And then open the mouth, exhale, set up for Shavasana. Final resting pose. Hands on either side of your body with palms facing up. Ready to receive all the goodness, all the benefits of the practice. Shut the eyes and enjoy a bit of stillness for a few moments. And as always, if you can stay for a bit longer, it's always, always recommended. Otherwise, start to bring your attention back to your breath. Wiggle toes, wiggle fingers. Take a big, full, whole body stretch overhead. Like you're stretching out from tips of the toes through the tips of the fingers. And then curl yourself into a little ball, roll over to one side, and make your way up to a seated position. Keep your eyes closed. Find your seat bones here. So you're rooting down into earth. And then draw up through the crown of the head. So you've got that length, but you've also got a sense of grounding. Hands to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. And ending in gratitude for the practice. You rolled out your mat, did the hardest part, which is just getting on the mat. You did your practice, you did the work. So acknowledge yourself. And just come back to that intention that you set in the beginning of practice and let that carry with you the rest of the day. And we'll seal it in with one Om. Breathe in. Thumbs to mind's eye, your forehead center, spot of intuition, spot of all-knowing. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Together we bow and say namaste. Great job, everyone.